Going to no, we're not doing that one. We're doing the Christchurch Foundation one. That's what we're doing.
What do you want it? Oh, I had number 8.
No, we're doing. Where's Christchurch Foundation? Where's Pauline? I'm sure we were doing this straight after lunch. That's,
Yeah.
hey, we're doing this straight after lunch. Christchurch Foundation, isn't it? It wasn't there. Sorry.
Okay, yeah, sorry.
Okay. Right. So we've got Rose and Gary, and yep, yes, and that's cool. Now, if we have a resolution to exclude the public for attachment B and C, if we need to go there, so we'll just see how we're looking. Now, we've all got this from Pauline that everyone can have a read of. Thank you. Right.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. They just like to introduce Rose Crossland, who'll be will be doing a bit of a double take this afternoon. The Christchurch Foundation's been in a period of fundamental change. Amongst many goals they have, financial sustainability and a closer relationship with the council are high up there. Foundations usually become sustainable when they have approximately $30 million under management. Christchurch Foundation currently has about $3 million. They believe they will be sustainable when they have about $25 million, and they're working towards this goal at the moment. The foundation currently need additional financial support of around $220,000 a year to maintain their momentum for change, which has been considerable, and to operate. The foundation see the 2027-37 long-term plan as the appropriate forum for discussing longer-term financial support. In the interim, they've applied for $550,000 from the Capital Endowment Fund to cover the period between now, March 2025, and July 2027, when any decisions of a long-term plan would kick in. Accordingly, this report considers 3 options. The first option is the council decline the request, and it sends a clear signal to the foundation on council's ability to provide further financial support. The second option is approve a grant of $82,500 to support the core operation of the foundation to 30th of June 2025. Over this time, the foundation would engage with the council and finalise, with council's input, how they would implement their new strategic plan. An application for further funding of $220,000 would be presented to council in May, June this year, and again in May or June 2026. This option essentially provides a little more time for the foundation to engage with the council, finalise its planning, but this option does not commit council to further funding beyond $82,500. The third option was for the council to approve a conditional grant payable in 3 instalments, $82,500 now, $220,000 in May, June 2025, and the same in 26. Each of those subsequent payments subject to a council report. This final option provides for greater security to the foundation, as funding will be set aside, but again it does not commit council to approving any further funding, because the approval of further funding is subject to a council report and council comfort with the progress. The staff's preferred option is the option in the middle, the option of providing 82,500 to support the operation through to the 30th of June, giving the foundation the opportunity to engage with the council. That's just a brief introduction. Rose and myself are happy to answer any questions on the report, and we do have the General Manager and the Chair of the Foundation with us in the chamber today. Thank you.
Right. Has anyone got any questions? Samuel?
John, are you able, thanks for the report, are you able to just talk me through, I mean, I guess to get to 25 million or 27 million is a huge feat.
Yep.
And so we're obviously looking at potentially giving some capital endowment fund till the end of June, which is, I know it doesn't have a direct impact on rates, but,
Yep.
There's still the... How much money, I mean, I know I've got this update here, which is good. There's been a bit of money raised, but like how quickly do you think there's going to be more money come in to make this more self-sufficient? Is it 25-year type horizon to... I guess what I'm trying to say is, are we looking at 250 grand or 220 grand a year going forward?
This report contemplates that until council consider the matter in the LTP. The probably more detailed information on the ability of the foundation to get to the level of managed funds that they need. The chair is probably better answering that than myself. I also think that would be a hot topic in a council workshop that if council go for the preferred option, we would host. But for a better answer here, I'll probably ask the mayor to allow the chair of the foundation to answer that.
I guess, so the other question is, if we were to give the funding today, how do we send a signal that it's not guaranteed in July? That's the like I just would hate to give the I'm happy to give them a go, but I would hate to. How do we ensure that there isn't an expectation that come July that happens? What kind of safeguards would we put in place?
Yeah. Firstly, the option is absolutely to only approve 82,500. It makes it very clear that any further funding is a separate council report, a separate application based on information that will probably be discussed at a council workshop. We have a council workshop scheduled for the 1st of April, should council decide it wants to proceed. The other idea is maybe you'd like to amend the resolution to make that clearer. I think they're probably the safeguards within the resolution, but if there's a will to make it clearer, we could certainly think about that.
And I guess just last one is, so just between now and the end of, I mean, if this money will run them till end of June?
30th of June,
30th
no
of June.
further.
So what's the timing for coming in for the new application? Like, is that a May decision?
Yes, it is. It's we would predict that coming in towards the end of May, latest early June,
Right.
following a council workshop in early April.
Okay. And so do we think there's enough time there for them to get the runs on the board they need to prove that they can, open the door for more funding?
That will come to light in the workshop. And it is going to be really down to the foundation to present and the councillors to ask questions and get a level of comfort themselves. We will be there and we will provide advice. I can't ask that question, and I guess that's one of the reasons that the staff have pointed to this option, which is a provisional amount, and we'll see what happens, but there can't be any expectations.
Thank you. Vic and then Sarah.
Thank you, John. Mine's sort of a follow-up from Councillor McDonald's, because if this money is only to cover it until the end of June, I'm struggling to understand what is it that what's going to change in the next 3 months. I mean, they've been working on their plan and the science behind how they're going to get there, with their being financially sustainable. What does another 3 months give them that they haven't already got now? And the information that isn't already before us? Because what I don't want to hear is we're confident we can get there. I want to see the plan. We want to see the science behind it. And if it's already there, then we should have that now. Because, yeah. So what's my question? My question is, what are we actually going to get in 3 months? What is this that we haven't already got now?
I'll answer the first part and turn to my colleague for the second part. The within the 3 months, there is a council workshop where the foundation themselves will engage with the council and present anything that they need to over and above what's being presented in this report, and the appendix to the report, which shows what the foundation have been doing in detail over the last few months. Rose, have you got anything else to add?
Yes, and just to further expand on that, the additional report that was sent through following the previous workshop that was here before was asked for some what has been happening and what is going on. So that was sent through. Some of you may have just received that now, but it indicates quite a lot of the extensive work that has been going on in terms of growing, expanding existing funds and growing additional funds. They're developing some quite strong relationships with key people, and they're also working on new strategies for new funds. So there has been a lot of work on. So it's not that they've sat there not doing anything. There's been a lot of work going on, which is outlined in this document here, which was sent to you in confidence. But
Thank you. So it does raise the question, because I've been asking the same questions about where additional third-party funding is coming from, and you'll recall raised it previously that the website says it's a foundation for Waimakariri and so on, and I've asked the question previously about whether approaches have been made to other councils and other organisations who are in partnership and who support them. Is there any update on any of that additional funding that's available?
so conversations are being had with some of the councils. It is.
I want to hear more than conversations, Rose.
I'm not aware at the moment of any firm decisions about approval for funding, but I know that these conversations are being had.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
We cannot provide you an update on that. We don't know.
Thank you. Look,
Councillor.
my last question really is just, in your report on page 161, paragraph 4.16, where you're looking at the option disadvantages,
Yep.
you're saying that if the foundation cannot continue, Christchurch and Banks Peninsula will be one of the only regions in New Zealand without a community foundation. I really just want to question that. We've got the Rata Foundation that distributes, I think it's like 700 million fund, manages 700 million fund and generates 26 million per annum, of which Canterbury, I think, received about 14 million. So is that really correct, and is that just a bit of scaremongering?
No, it's actually correct. Rata has a certain amount of funds that they have that they can distribute. A community foundation means that the community, whether it's someone giving $10 or someone leaving a bequest of $1 million or a business investing 100,000, the community give the money. So there are about 18 community foundations around the country at the moment. There's only one in Canterbury, Dunedin and maybe the West Coast are the only ones without it. So there are lots of other foundations around that have money, a pool of money set aside to give. But a community foundation is different in that people give into the money. That's into the foundation to grow endowment funds and to give pass-through funds and to support other activities out there that they can actually be a conduit for. So it is a completely different model.
Okay, thank you. So my final question then really just goes back to staff's thoughts around whether the foundation is acting in accordance with the original intention of what the foundation was set up for. I've got my own thoughts on this, but I'm keen to understand what staff's position is, or whether they've moved away significantly from that.
Yes, I'm happy to answer that. So best practice for a community foundation is to concentrate on building endowment funds. So there's a big amount of funds with various focus of attention, and the interest that comes out of that goes to support the community. That's the best practice. when it first opened, that wasn't. There were other funding activities that were conducted that did not concentrate on in building endowment, and didn't bring as much money in as they'd hoped. So what this phase 2 of the foundation is very much focused on is going back to best principles, which is to focus on endowment funds and bringing money in and keeping it there and investing it wisely according to supporters' wishes, and working with the community, which is everybody in the community literally can contribute to that. So they have right-sized and they have refocused on best practice.
Sorry, supplementary to that. So therefore, it's changed and it's moved from it was originally set up for.
It was originally set up to be that model. That is, again, with the foundation, it was originally set up. That would be the path that all successful foundations would be. Some of the fundraising activities were not focused on endowment, so building up that big lump of funds. So there were funds, and I think also the income to expenditure was a little bit higher than most community foundations would successfully operate under. So building up that endowment fund has been the key focus on the new trust.
Thank you. Sarah, then Mel.
Kia ora. Thanks so much. It's no doubt that getting something off the ground like this is really tough. How much more difficult does the current recommendation make it when people are trying to convince people that they're a long-term entity and that they have the confidence of council? So, I mean, how much more difficult does it make it for them to convince people when we're saying, oh no, we're going to fund them 4 months? If we set aside the funding, does that give them a better opportunity and more mandate to get more funds in because people have more surety?
I guess that is a question best posed to potential investors or customers on how they would feel. But I think a common sense view would be the greater degree of certainty and surety in the future of the organisation, and the confidence of the organisation itself, the greater reliance prospective donors would have on that.
Yeah. Okay.
And that's not a factual answer. I guess it's a common sense answer because we haven't, done any analysis on that.
I mean, are we able to hear from the foundation? I mean, how much more difficult it would make it?
Well, do we go on PX?
Up to you. I mean,
Yep, we need to get some
I
insight.
think we need to get.
I think we need to go on PX.
It's a big decision, right?
I don't, okay. Have you got a question first, Mel, before? Okay. Melanie is, because there's some information, Melanie's moving to go to PX. Jake is more than happy to second that. So all those in favour of going into PX? All right, against? Thank you, that's carried. Okay, we're back in business. Victoria?
Mr Mayor, I'd like to move a motion, please, that we lay this on the table. We've heard a lot today about the opportunity for a further workshop, and if there's more information, then I think we should be fully informed. So I wonder whether I've got a seconder for that, please.
Mel?
I'll second it.
Okay.
Matt, yep. Vic's moving, Sam's seconding, and Mel's got a full. And Sarah's seconding that. You got that, Sam?
So that's Sarah.
Okay. So that, what Vic's done, is not the.
When they go into debate, we move away from the table. Just check when they go into debate.
So we have a motion from Vic to leave this on the table until we have the workshop, and it's been seconded by Sam. Process question. Righto. Yep. Yep, far away.
What comes first? The
Chicken or the egg?
yeah.
What comes first is this, and if that fails,
No debate.
that.
Oh, was this the procedural that?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a procedural motion. Yeah.
Could I have the wording of, I know option 3 is described, but could I have the wording altered slightly to say a grant of 82,500 or whatever it is, plus conditional for the remainder? Because it's actually, option 3 is about giving them the 82,000 now and then deciding at a later point, relatively soon, whether we give them any more or not. 'Cause the rest of it would be conditional.
All right, okay, so,
Because that wording makes it sound like it's that whole amount, but it's actually not.
okay.
It's not quite.
So
yeah.
you're saying the 82 now and,
So it says 82,500, whatever the wording is, and then conditional for 440.
What's left?
Subsequent to a workshop and agreement to approval of the strategic plan and implementation plan.
Okay.
so John, can you come up and help the team to write the
Just make sure we get it right.
things?
Can I ask the question then of that, Mel? How is that different to the preferred option from staff?
Yeah, how does it do?
That was debate, but it's about giving investors surety in writing that we're considering to give more, because otherwise this is debate.
What it does is it sets aside money within the fund that we don't reallocate until we've made a decision whether or not to allocate the extra money. Yeah. It just sets funding aside so that we can make a decision and gives more surety. Yeah.
So it's number 3 of the officer recommendation there, and then.
But it only actually
then
grants
it's
82.
Then, yeah.
We're just sorting a couple of wee bits of wording out on Melanie's foreshadow motion.
taking time to get the wording up, but our understanding is that you want to agree. So we'll do the first motion first, which is about lying on the table. If that fails, the foreshadowed one is to make a grant today of 82,500, and then subsequent to that, following a workshop, potentially make 2 further grants of 220.
But only following the workshop, not.
Not just that, but also council agreeing, because it says it in the wording in the report, council agreeing to the strategic plan and implementation plan. We have to agree to them. So there's quite a process there.
Have a workshop and subsequent to the workshop agree on the.
It's not set in concrete, the second bit. Okay. Just getting a few words going up here.
We could do the other one. Oh no, people probably need to know what the alternative is. Yeah, but will people vote? Do they need to see this one to know what the foreshadowed one is? Okay.
Okay.
No,
Can I just get
Sorry, quiet everyone. Right, we're back.
Can I get clarity, please, on the wording that you've got on option 3 there, where it says, when that box is removed so I can read it.
yeah.
Oh, there we are. Tranche 2 and tranche 3, the decision to be made via a council report. Does that mean that we're voting on it in public, or is it?
We're in public now. So which
No,
one?
yeah. When it comes back to approve tranche 2 and tranche 3 to be released, can I just clarify that it will come to the table for
Yeah.
a vote as to whether those are going to be released, rather than the staff just giving us a report to say we're satisfied that they've
We
satisfied the conditions. Thank you.
Okay, so we're doing
The procedural motion.
Victoria has done a motion which I'd love to be able to see. Make sure we're all on the right track. No, we're still drawing. Can I see the next one, please? Or I suppose we don't need to see that. Yeah. So here we are. Victoria has come up, has put a motion lie on the table, revolves we let the report lie on the table to the upcoming workshop. And Sam has seconded it. So we don't need any discussion there, it's quite simple. I'll put that motion, all those in favour? Aye. Against?
No.
No. Yeah, okay, righto. I'm trying to get out of here. Sorry, Sam. Right. Okay, where you go, Sam?
So this is for leaving the report to lie on the table. Councillor Peters.
Yes.
Councillor Fields. Councillor Harrison Hunt.
No.
Councillor Coker. No. Councillor Donovan online.
No.
Deputy Mayor Cotto sitting back. Councillor Henstock.
Sorry, I've been distracted.
This is to leave the report to lie on the table.
I've moved that, yes, thanks.
That's a yes. Councillor Moore.
No.
Councillor Goff.
Yes.
Councillor Johansson. Yes. Councillor Kewen. Councillor MacDonald.
Yes.
Councillor Barber.
No.
Councillor McLennan. No. Councillor Scandrett.
No.
The Mayor.
Yep.
Councillor Templeton. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 4, and 1, 2,
Okay.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Thank you, Sam. That is lost. So now we do the foreshadowed one, which is coming up any minute now. That's it there. Is that right? We're all happy with that? Sarah. Okay, so this one, the foreshadowed motion, has been moved and seconded, which says more or less give $82,500 now, and then after the workshop, it's not set in concrete, but after the workshop, two tranches of 220 grand, 1 July this year and 1 July next year. That may happen if everyone's happy at the workshop. Everyone happy? Right. So I'll put that motion. All those in favour? Against?
No. West against?
Yep. Hey, I moved in second. Yeah, someone called division, so we're doing it.
Sarah called for a debate as well.
Do you really?
Yeah, but already.
So do debate.
No. We've had the division, we've got a procedure motion.
Procedure motion, yeah, that is right.
So this is a division for option 3 on the screen. Councillor Kewen. Yes. Councillor McLennan. Yes. Councillor MacDonald.
No.
Councillor Henstock.
No.
Councillor Moore.
Yes.
Councillor Scandrett.
Yes.
Councillor Harrison Hunt.
Yes.
Councillor Coker. Yes. Councillor Peters.
No.
The Mayor,
No.
Councillor Templeton, Councillor Barber,
Yes.
Councillor Fields,
Yes.
Councillor Johansson, Councillor Donovan online,
Yes.
and Councillor Goff.
No.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 for, and 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 against.
Okay. So that is carried. Thank you very much. Right. We will now move on to